Why do big organizations sometimes pick solutions that seem off the cuff or even downright random, like roll a die? In politics and bureaucracies, decisions often come down to timing, convenience, and available agendas, not rational planning. I'm Professor Hellstrom, and in this video we're going to explore the garbage can theory. It's a framework that reveals how messy and opportunistic decision-making can really be in organizations. This theory challenges the traditional notions of how decisions are made in organizations, particularly in situations characterized by ambiguity. So instead of having the time to collect all the information and then picking the best possible solution for a particular problem, the decision is instead a product of four independent streams colliding at the right moment. There's the problem, there's the solution, there's the people who happen to be sitting around the table at the time that the decision has to be made, and choice opportunities. So decision making is actually messy and often chaotic, especially in complex organizations like government agencies. The theory suggests that decisions arise when these four streams happen to collide in a garbage can of organizational activity. For example, a university may need to decide how to allocate funding for a new program. A faculty member, as a participant, might already have a prepared proposal, a solution, for a program that doesn't quite fit the university's priorities, the problem. But if the budget meeting, the choice opportunity, comes up, the piece may align by chance. Just it happened to be at the right time at the right place. And the funding is granted, not because it's the best option, but because it happened to fit at the right moment. A great real-world example is how the US government cobbled together its post-Gulf War reconstruction policy in Iraq 1991. You had multiple agencies, State Department, Pentagon, USAID, each had competing proposals and priorities. Democracy promotion, oil industry reconstruction, counterinsurgency training, humanitarian aid, budgets, concepts, actors, they circulated independently. Then, as congressional hearings and funding decisions converged, a mix of government agency-driven planning, private contractor proposal, and military logistics got bundled into one policy. The outcome wasn't the most coherent or effective plan. It was the plan that happened to align with who was in the room, what funding was available, and what proposals were on hand at the time. Garbage can theory teaches us how decisions are then often driven by timing, happenstance, who happens to be there at the right time at the right place, and the availability of ready-made solutions rather than deliberate planning. In other words, a bunch of the participants already have a bunch of solutions that they've wanted to implement for other problems, but for some reason it never fit. And now comes along a problem and they have a ready-made solution and click, they're going to use it now. It explains why organizations sometimes seem to solve problems that aren't the most pressing, or why some decisions appear to lack clear rationale or direction or coherent reason for why that particular choice was made rather than something else. Rather than seeking the optimal choice, decisions often emerge from a process that is as much about navigating ambiguity as it is about solving problems. This theory has been especially useful for explaining decision-making in settings where goals are unclear, where participants often change and information is incomplete. It's been criticized for being descriptive rather than predictive. It explains why decisions are messy, but doesn't offer you a systematic way to forecast or influence outcomes. But if you've ever wondered why bureaucracies or large institutions seem to make arbitrary or irrational decisions, garbage can theory offers a refreshing perspective. Sometimes decisions aren't the result of careful planning, they're the result of whatever happens to fall conveniently into place at the right time. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, a subscribe, don't forget to hit that bell. You can support the channel on Patreon or Ko-fi, or book a one-on-one tutoring with me through SuperProf. Thanks for watching. See you next time.